Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Look here, man. Ease up on my main man, Kell Brook. And look here, y'all got this thing all wrong. Word on the curb is that Kell Brook is possibly looking to take the Amir Khan fight before he faces Errol Spence. It's mandatory, right? And we already hear Eddie Hearn's ass and already changed his tune. He went from, oh, Kell Brook called me up and he wants to keep his title and the fans are going to look this way and he wants to face Earl Spence, make the fight. He went from that, and the audio of that still stands. The interviews are out there. He went from that to now, oh, the Khan fight is bigger and we'll probably take that fight before we'll take the Earl Spence fight. And everybody pissed off about that because we want to see Earl Spence get his chance, man. We know Shawty is the real deal, and it's time to see him operate on the elite level. Danny Garcia took a freaking fighter that Earl Spence already beat and took him in his last fight. And he chose not to face Earl Spence. And now he's pivoting in Thurman. So ain't nobody going to contest that, right? But now the mandatory Kell Brook is looking to take Khan and everybody pissed off. But look here, man. Let me tell y'all something. You look at it from Kell Brook's standpoint, right? If he beats Amir Khan, the opportunity of him getting the winner of Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman is real. Because now, at this time, Khan would have been, who is the mandatory to Danny Garcia. So I'm sure if Danny Garcia was to beat Keith Thurman, Khan would definitely pivot and use his mandatory position to try to get a fight with Garcia. But if Kell Brook beats Amir Khan, that chance will go bye-bye because now Khan will be coming off 2 losses. Once against Canelo, which he got his ass put to sleep. And then he'll be losing against Kell Brook. And I'm sure Kell Brook and Danny Garcia, if he was to win, or Keith Thurman, will make a good unification match. A blockbuster unification match. So that's Kell Brook's point of view. And he just got his fucking eye busted, orbital bone broken in the Triple G fight. And y'all want him to now face hard-hitting ass Earl Spence. And as a career move, is that smart? You risk losing everything to face Earl Spence, right? And from a career move standpoint, because if he loses to Spence, where is the Khan fight for Kell Brook? Where is the winner of Thurman Garcia for Kell Brook? And that's what no one's talking about. You looking at this fight from a fan standpoint, and I get it. You want to see him face Earl Spence. Fuck it, I do too. But look, man, from a career standpoint, if you are that fighter, and this is the road that you can take over the Earl Spence road, think about that shit, man. Think about that shit. And I understand, he fought his mandatories in the past. He ain't had no problems, right? He fought Dan, he fought Gavin, he fought all them other, and he ain't them bums, and he ain't had no problem. But when it comes to Earl Spence, my main man Kell Brook seems to have a problem. Well, it's not so much as a problem as it is a crossroad, I think, in my opinion. I am not saying Kell Brook is afraid of Earl Spence, like a lot of people may think. Nah, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying he's at a point he knows losing to Earl Spence loses other fights. Now, here's the thing, though. This is what boxing and the good side, the upside is beating Earl Spence. What does that do for Kell Brook? I mean, and that's what Kell Brook, I don't know. Be honest with you. Hold on for a second. Let's think about that. Beating Earl Spence, what would that do for Kell Brook? Not really super duper much, ladies and gentlemen. No, contrary to the popular belief. This is boxing 2017. You dig? Or 16, soon to be 7. Things don't work like that in today's boxing. Just because Kell Brook beats Earl Spence, oh, this think the winner of Garcia Thurman gonna come running to Kell Brook? You think the Khan is gonna come running to Kell Brook? No. Nuh-uh. Absolutely not. It'd be the same reason after Kell Brook beat Sean Porter, why a lot of the big dogs ran away from him. Sure, there were talks of Kell Brook, Diego Chavez, Kell Brook, Brandon Rios, but not no talks of Kell Brook, Thurman, and Porter. Not no. Well, Porter was already beat Thurman. Not no Kell Brook Mayweather. Not no Kell Brook Pacquiao's. Those talks was never in consideration. You dig? So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. You can just look at it from two standpoints. And look at it from Kell Brook's standpoint. Those fights can easily go bye-bye. And that's the bump of beating Earl Spence. I don't know if it puts Kell Brook on the radar of the other fighters at welterweight just because he beat Earl Spence. It makes it, from the fans' point of view, I feel y'all. But in the boxing politics, given that Earl Spence, though we know he's talented and he's a dynamic fighter, he's not a super popular fighter. And I don't know what that fight does for the networks, because Kell Brook in America ain't super popular either. So I don't know what that does for the politics of the sport. You get me? And him and Khan on British soil would do much better than him and Spence on American soil. These are what's available now. I mean, this is the when he fought those bum mandatories back then, like the Gavins and the them bums he fought, and Bizier. Did he have other options to fight other fighters? Is the question I'm wondering. Now, we never said that, Kell Brook is fighting JoJo Dan and not fighting Manny Pacquiao. And that's the case here. If he's not fighting Earl Spence, he's fighting Amir Khan for a bigger bag of money, more recognition, career legacy point of a fight that's been building up for years. It's really, honestly, stale at this point, to be quite honest with you. But they on British soil, they love it. And they may do this at Wembley or O2 or wherever, you know what I mean? But it's kind of stale if you ask me. But that option, and then I just don't see how the winner of Thurman and Garcia doesn't look to face the winner of a Khan Brook fight. That's the difference. He's fighting an Amir Khan. So it's a hard decision while everybody is trying to call out Kell Brook. Now, if you Earl Spence, though, like the camp of Spence, they said that Kell Brook's camp offers step-aside money. And he tried to shoot some bread over to the camp and have him step aside, so hopefully he could have kept his IBF title if he goes on to face Khan. And he will, still be a champion. Because if he doesn't face Earl Spence, and they got till February, I believe, to make a decision, then he gets stripped. Or he got to vacate. Simple as that, so... And then he will go on to face Khan for the bag of money, no titles, nobody has no belts, nothing. It's purely an exhibition for the money. Same way we getting Canelo Chavez for the money. Triple G and Brook for them. Everything is going for the money now. Canelo Khan for the money. Really? It's all for the money. And Kell Brook is playing in that same model of boxing today. And he's looking at bigger fights. And we're just looking at Earl Spence. And that's what y'all got to understand, man. Before we so quick to run over there and say, Kell Brook is I don't think Kell Brook, if he didn't have other options, like the Khan or Garcia winner and Thurman winner, I think he faces Earl Spence with no problem. With the fucked up orbital bone. But though he got his face broke in against Triple G, he feel as though Khan, for some reason, doesn't have a chance at, I guess, damaging him, that eye. as much as probably Earl Spence does. And well, I don't think so. Earl Spence to me puts Khan to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think he has a worse. If he faces, you know what I mean? If he faces Earl Spence, he has a much higher percentage of a chance to get his face broken in again than he would with Amir Khan. When we know Khan has the speed, but Kell Brook has been waiting for Amir Khan. You don't think he's been studying Khan for how many years, man? This has been the fight that's been probably means more to him personally than any fight in boxing, next to a maybe Mayweather fight or a Pacquiao fight. But other than that, it's Amir Khan. That's personal to Kell Brook. He gets paid a lot of money, and honestly, since the fight is long past its expiration date, and the longer it goes on, the more people. Khan ain't had a big win in quite some time. I mean, a big win, and I don't count Devin Alexander as a big win. I mean, a big win. He hasn't had that in a while, and he needs one to bring back hype to the fight of Kell Brook and him. And Kell Brook needs a big win too. If he beats Earl Spence, it makes the Khan fight good. That's one of the pluses of beating Earl Spence. But if that's one of it will make the him and Khan fight a little bigger because he'll be known as the guy who beat Earl Spence and Sean Porter. And I don't know, man, but I just don't think it gets him the Garcia Thurman winner, at least not in the near term. That's just my opinion. So let me know how y'all feel about this, man. That's just how I feel about my main man Kell Brook's point of view. It's not really a defense, but it's being real. It's like, dog, what do you do? I mean, in this position, it's a tough position to be in, and when you have your mandatory in front of you, there's better options. See, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way before in this video, but I know y'all is, but whatever the fuck. When Floyd Mayweather fought and disregarded his mandatories for so long, he disregarded guys like Khan and Thurman. Thurman was the WBA regular champion and then you had Amir Khan, the WBC #1 contender for a long time. And Floyd never fought neither one of those dudes, and no one gave him flack for it. You know what I mean? So I'm just being honest here. Like, Floyd pivoted to the bag, and he knew money first. He introduced really that model to a lot of these younger fighters, and it was okay when Floyd did it. And I'm just saying, I ain't saying Kell Brook is Floyd. He's far from it. But I'm just saying, what's good for the goose, sometimes it's good for the gander. Don't forget to subscribe, Main Man Made Man. Catch me on Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. I mean, damn. How long will that Khan fight really be there, man? How long will that Khan fight really be there? Because another loss, Khan loses his next fight, Kell Brook loses his next fight. Really, only people who will want to see that fight is some drunken British people in some pub somewhere. And you know what I mean? People who just lost their job or some shit. Them the only people who want to see that fucking fight. To the next video. Peace out.